about how this helped me to achieve my own success. Now, this was the first book that I wrote 12 years ago. This book is called I'm Gifted, So Are You. How many of you have seen this book before? Wonderful, right? It's translated to Vietnamese as well. Okay? Now, I wrote this book 12 years ago to launch my career in Singapore, because at that time I was nobody. Nobody knows me in Singapore. So, I wrote this book when I was in the university. I was still studying, about to graduate. Why did I write this book? Those of you who know a bit about my history, you know that when I was young, I was a lousy student. I was lazy, I had no motivation, I failed many of my exams. And in Singapore, I ended up in one of the worst schools in Singapore. And then at the age of about 13 years old, I decided to change my life. I decided to wake up. And I attended a lot of seminars, just like you. I read many books, just like many of you. And when I attended the seminars and read the books, I got inspired by other people. We must always be inspired by other people. So I got inspired. And at 13 years old, I said, I want to change my life. I want to be a success. I want to be number one. Okay? So I started studying very hard. And from the bottom of the school in Singapore, I became one of the top students in Singapore. I went to the National University of Singapore and became one of the top students. So at that time, I was inspired. I said, hey, I want to write a book to teach other students how to succeed. I want to write a book to teach other students how to be a top student. So that was why I wrote the book. Now, here's the problem. After I wrote the book, it's called a manuscript. Right? Now, I knew that it was a good book. I knew it would help people. But the problem is, I have got no track record. I've got no credentials. At that time, I did not even have a degree. So who will read my book? I'm a nobody. I'm so young. I was only about 24 years old. Who will read my book? So I knew that I had to get a good publisher to promote the book. A good publisher that would give me the credibility. Yeah? So I took the manuscript and I went around to find a publisher. I went to the famous publishers, like Simon & Schuster. You know what they said to me? They said, we're not interested in your book. I said, fine. Went to another publisher, called Prentice Hall. They looked at the book, they said, I don't think your book will succeed. There's no market for a book. We're not interested. So I went to another publisher, went to another publisher, went to another publisher. I even went to a publisher called Penguin Books. There's a publisher called Penguin Books. And they even said to me, I'm sorry, but your book will not be successful. I thought, my God, even the bird doesn't want me. Okay, how to succeed, right? I didn't give up. I went on and on and on. And I was rejected by more than 10 publishers. No one would give me a chance. They say, you're too young, you've got no experience, no one will read a book. So eventually, one day, one publisher saw the manuscript. And he said, wow, this is interesting. And they called me up, they said, you know, Mr. Koo, we want to publish a book. I was so excited. And this company that decided to do it is called Oxford University Press, which is a publishing company in Singapore. So I said, oh my God, wow, Oxford University Press, such a good brand name. I said, with their brand and my book, you'll be a bestseller. You'll be successful, right? So I was so excited. So I went back to my school in the university, and I told all my friends, I said, you know what, Oxford is publishing my book. I will be a best-selling author, right? So I thought, sure to be successful. Now, the year was June 1998. In June 1998, my book was supposed to be launched in all the bookshops in Singapore. I was so excited. Okay? 1 week before that, I couldn't sleep. Right? Because I had all these visions, I had all these fantasies. I imagine when I go to the bookshop, I see my book on the display, bestseller. I imagine my book everywhere. I imagine people queuing up to buy the book. I imagine I sign autographs. I imagine people take pictures, you know. Oh, I'm just so excited. I say, wow, you know, I'm going to be a best-selling author, like Anthony Robbins or whatever, right? Guess what? It did not happen. Let me tell you what happened. In June 1998, on the day of the book launch, I went to the bookshop. Yes, I went to the bookshop and I walked inside waiting to see my book. I walked in and I looked. I couldn't find my book anywhere. And so I called the publisher. I said, excuse me, isn't the book being launched today? They said, yes. I said, I don't find the book anywhere. They said, where are you? I said, I'm in Borders. You know Borders? Borders is one of the most famous bookshops in USA, also in Singapore. It's the biggest bookshop, Borders. And I said, I'm in Borders. And they said, oh, I'm sorry, but your book is not selling there. I said, why not? It's a new book. Why isn't the big bookshop taking my book? They say, Mr. Adam, you must understand. You are a first-time author. You have got no experience. You have got no track record. The big bookshops will not give you the space to put your book. I said, where's my book? They say only the small bookshops will take your book. Small bookshops? Yeah, the lousy bookshops. So I said, okay, at least it's selling somewhere. I said, where? So they gave me the name of some bookshop very far away, which I never heard of before. I said, okay, fine. I traveled all the way there to this small bookshop in Singapore. I went inside and I looked. I still couldn't find a book. Not even in a small bookshop. So I went to the person in charge and I said, excuse me, do you have this book, I'm Gifted, So Are You? She said, ah. I said, I'm gifted, so are you. She said, I don't know. See yourself. So I went in there, I checked. And after 20 minutes, I found my book. 4 copies. 4 copies. And it was not even displayed on the shelf. You know where it was? It was on the floor. It was right on the floor. Here. It was not displayed this way, it was this way. You know? And it was stacked on top of a lot of other books. So look at me and say, my book! It's on the floor! Who can find the book? Right? So I said, who can find the book? So I was really upset. I was really angry. So I called my publisher. And I said to my publisher, I said, hey, why is it you are not marketing the book? You see, as a good publisher, what should they do? They should promote the book, right? They should have advertisements, they should have posters, they should have author signing. They did nothing. And I said, why are you not marketing the book? And you know what they said to me? They said, Mr. Adam, must understand. At Oxford University Press, we have got no marketing budget. We have got no marketing budget. I said, why? They said, because normally we only publish dictionaries. We only publish dictionaries. I said, huh? You only do dictionary? Oh, we also do encyclopedia. And they said, we don't normally do your kind of books. So we have no marketing budget. I said, but I thought Oxford University is a very big company. I said, yes, we are big. In London. Singapore, small, no budget. So I said, but if you don't promote the book, who can find the book? They said, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. So how did I feel? How did I feel? I felt like a what? I felt like a victim, right? I said, it's unfair. I wrote a good book. This is my dream. This is my first book. But no one can find the book. The bookshop will not take my book. They're not promoting the book. So I got really upset. 1 month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed. Did the book sell? Book didn't sell. Why? Because no one could find the book. And my friends came up to me and they said to me, Adam, I thought you are a best-selling author. I said, shut up. It's not my fault. I wrote a good book. It's a stupid publisher. It's their fault. I blame. And I started what? Blaming and complaining. So as far as I blame and complain, did the book sell? Nothing happened. So one day, a friend of mine, he said to me, he said, Adam, your book will never sell unless you take responsibility for your book. I said, what do you mean take responsibility? Hello, I'm I'm the writer. I did my job. I'm not the seller. It's not my responsibility. He said, yes. But Adam, it is your name on the book. It is your book. And no one cares more about your book than yourself. So from there, I thought, I said, you know what? For things to change, I must change first. So I said, okay, if they will not sell the book, I will sell my own book. So you know what I did? I went to the bookshops myself. I went to all the bookshops in Singapore. And I told them, will you put my book in the bookshop? They said, no. We've got other books. Why should we put your book? I said, you know what? If you want to achieve something, there's always a way to do it. Now I thought to myself, you know bookshops? Bookshops, they always like to get customers to come in. They like to have events. They like to have activities, right? So I said, okay. I talked to the manager. I said, I tell you what, I will do a free talk for your bookshop. Free talk. Don't pay me, free talk. And if I do the talk, people will come to listen, right? People come to the bookshop and you put my book. Is that okay? What did they say? They said, okay. So I made things happen. I was proactive. So from that day onwards, every week, I will do many book talks. I'll go to all the bookshops in Singapore. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I will talk about talk. Right? And people get to know the book. And I also went to a lot of the schools in Singapore. Schools to do free talks for the students to promote the book. And I even printed my own flyers, like flyers, right? So I used my own computer. I designed my own flyer that says, I'm gifted, so are you. How to be a top student. And every day after school, I'll go to the train stations, the bus stations, and I'll stand in front and I'll give away the flyers. I say, come to my book talk. My name is Adam Khoo. My book is I'm Gifted, So Are You, right? Went out there, promoted the book. And the next thing I did was something that's never been done in Singapore before. Let me tell you what I did. I decided to advertise my book in the newspapers. Now, no one has done it before. Most of the time, when you see people advertise books in the newspaper, who advertises? The bookshop or the publisher. The author will never advertise his own book, right? I say, I will advertise my own book. Now, are advertisements cheap? No. One advertisement this size in Singapore is about $2,000 US. One advertisement. I decided to put 4 advertisements. It's 8,000 US. Now at 24 years old, that was my life savings. For many years, I worked as a waiter. I worked as a salesman. And I saved my money safe. For 20 years, this is my savings. And I decided to take all my savings and put it into the advertisement. And one of my friends, who is an experienced author, he has written many books in Singapore. He said, Adam, what you're doing is very stupid. I said, why stupid? He said, because Adam, it's not your job to sell the book. It's the publisher's job. I said, but if I don't sell it, they won't sell it. It's my book. He said, Adam, you must understand. Even if you sell the books, you will not make back your money. Let me explain why. You know when you buy a book that I wrote, I get paid a royalty? Right? When you buy my book, I get paid a royalty, right? Do you know what's the royalty, by the way? The royalty that I get paid is 10%, not of the sales price of the book. It's 10% of the profits of the publisher. 10% of the profits of the publisher. Which means my book in Singapore sells at $28. When people buy the book, you know how much I get? $1. I get $1. So who makes most of the money? Who makes most of the money? The publisher and the bookshop. And my friend says, Adam, Singapore is very small. Singapore is a very small market. In Singapore, an average book sells about 2,000 copies. Average book, average. He said, even if your book is a good book, it will only sell, bestsellers sell 5,000 copies in Singapore. 5,000. He said, 5,000, multiplied by $1. How much is that? $5,000, right? So I said, Adam, you put in $8,000 advertisement, you get 5,000, you lose money. Stupid! Stupid! But you know what I said? I said to myself, even if I lose money now, it's okay. Why? I think in the future, I think long term. I think if my book becomes successful, I become famous in Singapore. I become famous, I will build my business to be more successful. I said the book is only a marketing. It's only a tool for marketing. So I decided to spend the money. I took out the $8,000, and I advertised it everywhere. And people got to know about my book, right? And I can tell you that when you do the talks in the bookshops, it is not easy. See, like today, all of you come down, you're sitting down listening to me, right? When you do book talks, you talk in a bookshop, people don't come to listen to you. They come and buy books. So you have to what? Get their attention, right? So when I first talk in a bookshop, I'm talking. No one is listening to me. I'm talking to the air. And I talk and talk and talk until finally people buy book. It's very, very difficult, right? And so slowly, the book started selling more and more as it became more popular. But you know, Borders in Singapore, the #1 bookshop in Singapore, they will still not take my book. They will not take my book. And you know why? They said, we do not take local authors. We only take international books. From America, from London, Singapore, will not take your book. But I knew that I have to get my book into Borders because it's the #1 bookshop. And I said, there must be a way to do it. There must be a way. So I thought of a way. You know what I did? I said, let's make things happen. Now at that time, I have got many students in Singapore. And I told them, I said, I need your help. Each of you, help me to call Borders 10 times a day. And every time you call Borders, ask for my book, I'm gifted, so are you. And I had a few hundred students. And every day they will call Borders every 5 minutes. And they ask, do you have the book, I'm gifted, so are you? Do you have the book, I'm gifted, so are you? Do you have the book, I'm gifted, so are you? Do you have the book, I'm gifted? I think Borders was thinking, who's Adam Khoo? Everybody wants to buy his book. And so they started ordering the book. And that's how it got to Borders, right? And 6 months later, I opened up the newspapers and I got a shock of my life. Because in Singapore, every Sunday, they have the bestsellers list. They rank all the books in Singapore from the #1 to the #10 book. And when I opened up the newspaper, I got a shock. My book was ranked #1 in Singapore. Can I have the slides? Thank you. And the slides, please, slides. Okay? And I was featured in the newspaper. And this was the newspaper article I was featured in. Where at that time I was a student. And as a student, I topped the bestsellers list in Singapore. And if you look at the list, you can see my book, I'm Gifted, so I use #1. And have you heard of the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Very famous book. That was #4. Have you heard of this book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus? That was #6. Have you heard of Lee Kuan Yew? Lee Kuan Yew was our Prime Minister. He wrote a book, and my book also beat his book. So after that, the book became a bestseller. And did we sell 5,000 copies? No. We sold in a few years, we sold roughly about 60,000 copies. And after we sold all the copies, later, I wrote my 2nd book, my 3rd book, my 4th book, my 5th book, my 6th book, my 7th book, and today I've got 11 books. And the books are published internationally. And they're all now bestsellers. And recently my books were also translated into Vietnamese. Right? And they're sold right now in Vietnam. And in Vietnam, we have sold 35,000 copies in the last 2 years. Right? And not only that, but in Singapore, Borders, the #1 bookshop. This is Borders. Okay, this is the best seller since I was number 1 there. And this is a national newspaper, number 1 over there. And in Borders, this is Borders, if you can't see from these Borders. And I was ranked number 1 in Borders as well, the entire Borders bookshop. Now, why do I tell you this story? I tell you this story to share with you a very important lesson I've learned. And the lesson is this. Very often in life, when we got dreams, we got goals, many people will not give us a chance. Many people will not give us a chance. And if people don't give us a chance, don't complain. Don't blame. Because if you do, nothing will change. But when people don't give you a chance, what do? You make your own chance. You make your own opportunities. You create your own opportunities. And many times in life, that to achieve things, there are things that must be done that is not our job. It's someone else's job. Or if we keep thinking it's someone else's job, it never gets done. Sometimes we just got to take action and do it and make it happen for ourselves. Does this make sense? Yeah? So I hope that you learn something from this lesson. Can I give you a little exercise to do? Exercise? Yeah? Because I believe if you just input, you don't really learn anything. You got to output as well. When you output, you learn even more. So I'm going to give you a little exercise, and during this exercise, please stay back and do the exercise. If you really have to go to the toilet, it's really urgent, run quickly and go. If not, stay here to do the exercise. Is that okay? Okay, so here's the exercise. And the exercise, I think, is on page 7. Page 7. Page 7. And I'm going to show you how to do this exercise. And I'll ask some of you to share what you have learned, yeah? Can I have the video over here? Okay. Video. Okay. Now, on page 7, you see 3 things, right? You see that? On the first column is what we call blame. The things we are blaming. We blame the customers, we blame our competitors, we blame our partner, we blame. And as long as we are here, our business can't change. We can't change. On the second column is what we call take charge. From blaming, how can we take responsibility?